day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1735. We are in the same book as we did in 1733, and we are reading When in Doubt, Follow the Rules. This is for effective commitment and communication. And we are reading through Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider's Genius Works, The Rules Handbook, a guide to creating loving and lasting relationships, and all their other books their other reference books to read as well. Now, I think that we should all follow the rules because when we used to, I think we used to in the 1920s, right? Well, we'll have to go back to it a little. Not a lot, just a little. Your Rules Weekly Pep Talk says, when in doubt, follow the rules. When a doctor gives you a prescription for cough medicine and advises you to, quote, take 2 teaspoons every 4 hours, end quote, you don't doubt his or her advice. You follow his directions. You don't take 4 teaspoons every 2 hours, and you don't drink the entire bottle at once. Ditto for dating. We believe the rules is a foolproof formula, so if you follow our advice, you will create healthy, loving, and long lasting relationships with everyone in your life. If you apply this time tested wisdom, you will avoid heartache, save time and money, and capture the heart of your lifelong partner. It's your choice not to follow the rules, but you're flirting with disaster and will become disheartened. So focus on following the weekly pep talk and daily lessons. If you make a mistake, it's okay. Try again. You can't change anyone else. You can only shift the relationship dance by changing how you interact with others and by the choices you make. Now, an anxiety reliever is that the rules prevent you. Oh my God. Sorry, I just got up again. The rules prevent you from being a nervous wreck or having to make emergency appointments with your therapist or life coach or psychic. You're not sitting by your phone on Friday or Saturday night, biting your nails or pulling your hair out, waiting to see if you have a date for the weekend. If he doesn't ask by Wednesday for Saturday night, he either doesn't like you enough or has been spoiled by non-rules daters and needs to be silently inspired when you're not available at the last minute. Either way, you make other plans or go out with your girlfriends. What it does is that it makes your behavior change because you change your behavior. But your thinking may not change if you don't change your thinking. Change your stinking thinking is what the Pamela I. Young and Marla Silly used to say, the flylady.net used to say. And your thoughts will change your life. Your thoughts change your habits. Your habits change your behavior. Your behavior changes your destiny. Excuse me. Sorry. Present an obstacle. If you want to make a man who spoke to you first fall head over heels, just tell him he's not your type. He's too young or old, that you only date men who are divorced, not separated, that you're not over your ex, or give him literally any type of obstacle. He will take it as a challenge and try to change your mind and win you over. A divorced client with a child was adamantly against dating her coworker, 5 years younger and never married. He wouldn't stop asking her out, and they're engaged now. He didn't want any other female coworkers who were interested in him. Hmm. So a man knows what he wants is part of the rules. He knows what he wants, and he's not afraid to let the world know it. That is the interesting thing that most people don't get. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, sorry. Coffee. I need coffee. Oh, gee whiz. Okay. A little pregnant, the authors say sometimes a woman will ask if she can break the first rule, don't speak to any man first, and then do all the other rules. She feels some men might need a little push, and then she can convince him to want something more later on. We say, unfortunately, no. It's like being a little pregnant. It's like an alcoholic saying, I'll just have one drink. The first rule is the most important rule. The beginning is everything, unless it was a case of you beating him to the punch. It's better to do the first rule and break the others than to break the first rule and do the others. You can't undo the beginning. If a man doesn't start things, it's usually over. Wow. There's a lot of marriages out there like that. No comment. Deceptively delicious. Some women argue the rules are deceptive because you're pretending you're not available or that you don't care as much as you do. But complete transparency can come across as crazy. You can't tell a guy, I can't see you because you didn't ask me by Wednesday for Saturday night. Just like you wouldn't tell your kids, I'm putting spinach in your brownies for your own good. You just say, sorry, I'm busy, or enjoy your brownie. Comedian Jerry Seinfeld's wife, cookbook author Jessica Seinfeld, wrote Deceptively Delicious, a book about sneaking nutrients into desserts. It's not lying, it's just not volunteering information. Oh boy. So, oh my gosh, let me go. Yeah. Cat should come by. Oh, golly. Okay, we are reading other people's wisdom. Morsels of a thought are hopefully thoughts of wisdom. Hopefully, that we would know the right things to do. And to do them, we would be creating virtue. We're bringing more virtue into the world with morsels of a thought every single day. Okay, short and sweet. Women are always asking us how to get off the phone in 10 minutes, say the co-authors Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider. How to keep messaging on dating apps to a minimum, or the key is not to ask any questions, so there's nothing to talk about but the next date. If you ask the same questions back every time he asks, how are you? How was your weekend? The conversation will go on forever. Pretend you're a movie star being interviewed on TV and ask nothing back. If you just say good, he will figure out that the only way to get you to talk is to set a date. Better to seem a little cold or rude than to get stuck on the phone for an hour. Don't remind him. Men in love are not cynical about Valentine's Day. They don't say, this is just a commercial holiday or Valentine's Day flowers are a ripoff. Any man who talks like that will probably also say, marriage is just a piece of paper. I have a story about that. There was a time that I did get married. It was a classic deception by a suave, debonair man in China. I went to on a vacation, and I met whom I thought was the man, somebody whom I thought was the man of my dreams, and he took advantage of it. When I asked him, was he married, he hesitated a little bit. He went, no. Do you see what I just did? I just did this. I said, no, like as if I were about to say yes. And then I changed my mind and said no. And the story goes that he was married and he was getting divorced in order to get married to me. So there was one time there was a piece of paperwork that needed to be done, and it had a there was a hint on it by somebody else. They made an error. They made a little error, and I think it was deliberate to hope that I would go back and make him question it. But I got married to him, and there was a man who probably saved my life. I thank him for that. I'm forever grateful to this man behind the counter at the marriage registry who looked at me, and he would not break his glance at me. He would not break the stare. And I would try to break the stare, and I smiled and I broke the stare, but I noticed he kept on looking at me. I am forever grateful because this man saved my life. There was a plan, and there was a diabolical plan, and my life was on the line. So it was a good idea that I got divorced from that man. But I will say that I was reading the rules, and it's not the rules' fault that I got the wrong man. There are people who can fool everybody, some people all the time, but you cannot fool everybody all the time. So I finally got it, and I understood what had happened. So So I basically the guy was gonna kidnap me and hold me for ransom from my family because he knew that somebody in my family would have put out something. They didn't, they wouldn't, and I didn't allow it to happen. So I got divorced first. Um, then later on, I told my family, and they were happy because they had known that he was a debonair, suave con man. So it was just a piece of paper, but that piece of paper could have cost me my life. So you be careful. You be careful out there. Out there, be careful, be careful, be careful. That's what yin yang says. Yin and yang say. Actually, I'm just one person. Okay. Yeah, did you know that? Okay. Back to the co-authors. Okay. Cynicism and love do not mix. No, they do not mix. There was no love in it after a minute. After a minute, there was no more love in it. I saw the man as a stranger, and I completely couldn't understand why. Because normally, when you're in love, you will see a person and they will look as though they were familiar to you. That's an interesting part of when you've fallen head over heels over somebody, you see them, and there's always a smile on your own face in your mind, that he looks familiar, she looks familiar, like she's somebody exactly like what you wanted, he's somebody exactly like you wanted. Anyway, however, some men like to be more creative creative than romantic about gifts. Women anxiously wait to see if the guy they are dating is going to do anything. Will he remember or skip it? Will he be practical or romantic? Ideally, he will ask you out a week or two in advance for dinner. Ideally, you will receive a card that says love and something romantic like candy, flowers, or jewelry. Don't drop hints about the holiday. If you have to remind him, then it doesn't count. The rules are like truth serum. You watch his behavior and Know where you stand. When you know where you stand and see the signs, don't ignore them. I'm going to talk about this in a second. We are currently reading Morsels of a Thought of Wisdom from Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider, The Rules Handbook, a guide to creating loving and lasting relationships. We're hopefully that we are reading this, hopefully that we gain some wisdom about what the right things are to do in our lives for today. I hope to inspire you to have a great day with it. And here we will see that we'll get a wonderful payoff. The rules might seem retro and politically incorrect. Okay, they do seem retro. Why do they seem retro? Because, in a way, they are. It used to be common knowledge what men would do. Now we're bringing the common knowledge back into the vernacular. In the world today, this book, excuse me, this book has been translated 26 times into other languages, including English. UK English. um, but it's got coaches in Japan, China, Taiwan, uh, European countries, South American countries, African countries. It's really, really, really widespread now. So we're changing the world and bringing it back into the vernacular, the rules. Okay. The rules might seem retro and politically incorrect, but they work. Hmm. Being a career woman, you might find it hard to be feminine when you're home, but force yourself. Switch your mindset from conquering the world to being kind to the man who married you. Reset your focus from finance to romance. There's no point in being a success at work and a failure at home. Family comes before work. When you're being your higher self, he won't take the long way home or tell his friends that you're a ball and chain or that marriage is a lot of work. He'll brag that you're the best wife. He'll remember and celebrate your birthdays and anniversaries. He'll buy you flowers for no occasion. He'll want to spend more time with you, and he'll never want to get divorced. Isn't that the key? Yes, that divorce was final. Um, I really, really had a hard time convincing my family that I had done the right thing, but I had done the right thing. Okay, apply the rules to achieve your higher self. Excuse me while I yawn again. Oh boy. Oh, yawn because I'm sleepy. If you met the man of your dreams and he's a real catch, don't make it so easy for him like every other girl. Think of something you don't like about him and think about that. I don't know, he might be too short for me. He will sense that you are not that interested and he will work harder to win you over. I know that's how my mother got married twice. For the first time to my natural father, there was something that was a challenge in her, and the men were willing to overcome a challenge. Number two, we get it. You're a badass career woman, but when you come home, don't act like a CEO, but a CUAO and switch from masculine to feminine energy. Gaining money is masculine energy. Being romantic is feminine energy. The rules for marriage are the opposite of the rules for dating. As much as you were hard to get, is as much as you need to be easy to be with. You can be a badass at work, but be a good egg at home. This is really cute. Uh, there is a couple of methods that you can use, which are men like women in stylish clothes in bright colors, clothes that flatter them. It doesn't matter if they're name brand clothes or not, they have to fit you well. They have to be, these days, they have to be really form-fitting, and they have to flatter you. If they flatter you, then that's good. If they don't flatter you, then it's dead meat, you know? You don't have to buy it if it doesn't flatter you. You can say, "Oh, I need to have a white top." But then you try it on and it's just a white top. It doesn't make you look sexy. It doesn't make you look available. It doesn't make you look cute. Don't buy that. There, I just saved people a lot of money. And multiple date. Make sure that you multiple date, because until you're exclusive, there is no man with any right to claim you as exclusively his until he says he loves you. He has to love you beforehand. Now that is in here. And don't date men that are hard to understand, like mixed messages men. That came in this book, Not Your Mother's Rules, The New Secrets for Dating. It's all about how texting versus calling, is there a great debate. It's just a lot of different new technological advances that we have to account for in here. And it says, don't date mixed messages men. The premise is that if he is a mixed message man, well, NPDs will start out that way. NPDs, I'm not even going to say what it means. NPDs are people that really, really are into themselves and care nothing about, they care jack about anybody else, just themselves. They don't even care about their own car. They don't care about their stuff. They don't care about how they look. They can walk around in broken collars, in broken lines. They can have their underwear sticking out of their pants and not care. They will not care. So don't date a guy who gives you mixed messages or who doesn't care about anything but himself. You can't see it until he starts to say, oh yeah. And then he begins to be negligent about how he's planning your time. Like, oh no, I thought it was Thursday. And then you go, oh yeah, you said Wednesday. No, 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 no. You don't deal with that person. You have to say, okay, do I want a mixed message man? No. Do I want an NPD? No. Those are very bad people to date. They are not fit for anybody, but you know, narcissists are so unpredictable. They will gaslight you. They will tell you things that they are confabulating because they think they're true, but they're not. They are going to tell you, oh, right, I love you. But then they'll not call, or they'll be far away, and then they'll say, I need a date for the wedding tomorrow. No, don't date people like that. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Bye. Old Kinderhook.